Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be having my first ever blood test done. So this is going to be with a company called Medichecks. Now I'm sure many of you out there have heard of them. I'm going to be having the advanced Wellman test done. They test 49 different biomarkers, so I'm super excited to get this done. And this is all thanks to the guys at Muscle and Health. They have sorted this out for me, so I'm very thankful to them. But what I thought I'd do in today's video is take you along for the whole process so you can see exactly what's involved, and then I'm going to take you through my results once they arrive. So guys, we're now here. What you do when you book on the website, it lets you choose a local place near you to have your blood drawn. So this is about 15 minutes away from me, so very convenient, and we're now going in. So there we go, guys, all done. You can see my arm just there. Wasn't allowed to film in there for data protection reasons, but I have it all here now. So I'm now going to go drop this off at a priority post box, and I'm going to take you through the results when I get them. Hey guys, so here we are about 4 days later and I have my blood test results in. Now this is usually a 2-day turnaround, but it's 2 working days, and because I got this done on a Friday, obviously it's been the weekend, it's been about 4 days. So the first thing I'll say is they keep you updated all the time with emails letting you know that they received your blood test and that it's now ready for viewing. And then obviously you can print that off like I have today. So you get a doctor's overview with this. So a doctor physically goes through your test results and explains in detail everything you need to know about your results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my results on the screen for you to see. These are available via the website once you log in. I will put a disclaimer out there that I am definitely not an expert when it comes to blood analysis. So obviously I'm going to go through some bits that I do know, or the stuff that I've obviously looked up and researched since receiving my results. So the first thing to go through, you're going to see I've got some nice green markers on this. This is the red blood cells. The first level would be the hemoglobin at 152. This is very healthy, so I'm very happy with that. So the hemoglobin is your oxygen carrying part. It's worth noting that obviously if you are an anabolic steroid user, this hemoglobin range will be very high, above the 170 usually, and I'm at 152, which is absolutely fantastic for a natural athlete. The next one down, the hematocrit, is your concentration of blood made from red blood cells, and as you can see I'm in a very nice healthy range on this too. And the next ones down, although I don't know what they stand for, these are the different parts of your blood cells that give clues of deficiencies in your body. So the 𝑀𝑐V, if you have a range of 80, it usually gives a indication that you have a deficiency in iron, and if you're above 100, it usually gives you an indication that you have a deficiency in vitamin B12 or folate. So you can see all mine are in the nice healthy green range there. In some of the areas very healthy, but all very happy with those red blood cell results. The next one down are my white blood cell results. You obviously get a white cell count. So again, as you can see, very healthy ranges here. The first one, the white cell count, this can be raised or low if there are areas of infection within the body. But you can see just running through all of those, I'm in a nice, super healthy range. And next we look at the clotting status. Again, I'm well within range on there. Everything looks super healthy and around mid to low range, which is obviously ideal for both of those. Next, we're gonna go into kidney health. Now you're gonna see this is where I actually have some red crop up, which obviously is very worrying, but at the same time, I'm gonna explain those to you of why you shouldn't be too worried with obviously the results I've got here. So the first one is the healthy one, is my urea levels. So urea is excreted by the kidneys. If this is range, that can indicate problems, and it can usually be up if your body is dehydrated. My first red level on here was the creatinine. Now, it's worth noting that for anyone who physically trains, or especially in bodybuilding, the more muscle skeletal mass you have, the higher this is going to be. So this can be elevated for a high protein diet, using creatine supplements, or generally just having a higher muscle mass. So obviously with me training for many years, this is going to be elevated. And then the next one down, the eGFR. This is an area where through the doctor's note, he said it was worth getting just a little check-in with my doctor about, but obviously based around me having a higher skeletal muscle mass and the creatinine levels is probably, you know, perfectly normal for that area anyway. And if there was a problem, you're going to see in this next section, the liver problem, there would usually be some indications with the liver issues that correlate to the eGFR ranges as well. But as you can see here, my liver function is absolutely superb. And that's great to hear because obviously I've probably mentioned in videos before that I take milk thistle supplements. And milk thistle is meant to enhance your liver health. So it's good to see that for the years of taking that, obviously my liver is super healthy. And for those out there who are taking anabolic steroids, these are the areas where you should be obviously keeping an eye on. The ALT and the GGT, these are going to be very high in people who do use anabolic steroids. And as you can see, my ranges clearly state very low, which shows I'm a natural athlete. So next, let's go on to proteins. Now, again, this is obviously a little marker to keep aware of. If you're low in protein in your diet, these are going to obviously flag up red as well. The total proteins, you can see I'm in a very nice range of 76.9. And this just goes to show that I have a very good absorption rate of protein within my diet. And it could be down to having very good, healthy gut bacteria. The next one is the albumin, which binds testosterone. We'll talk about that in a little while, my testosterone results. And as you can see, I'm at the 48.4 range, obviously the healthier range going up to 50. The higher the better on these, really. So you can see I'm in a very good range for that as well. These are very good being high together. Then you have the globulin levels at 28.5, which again is in that kind of mid to higher range, which is absolutely fantastic. So super happy with my protein results. The next ones to keep an eye on, definitely very important. We're going to look at the diabetes range. Now, the HbA1c, you may have heard about this before. This is an absolutely fantastic test. You may have seen just the standard blood test, which gives you an instant results on your blood sugar levels. Well, the HbA1c, this measures the glycated hemoglobin in red blood cells over 90 days. So it gives you a 3-month average of your blood sugar levels. So this is absolutely great for just monitoring your diet long term. And as you can see here, I am in the 33.46 range, which is non-diabetic, in the perfectly healthy range. Obviously, once you start to have too many sugars in the diet and your body doesn't produce enough insulin to compromise with this, that's when you're going to start getting above 42 and get into that pre-diabetic state. So it's worth noting, once you get to around that 40 mark, that's when you want to be making changes to your diet before you get anywhere near that zone. But as you can see, I'm very low on that, so my body's coping well. Even though, like I say, I have some cheat meals here and there, it's absolutely fine for what I'm obviously doing at the moment. So next, we have another red flag in my cholesterol status. Now, this is the only area I was a little bit concerned in. Sometimes when you do have a diet where you calorie count and you do enjoy your foods, you do have to be a little aware. Although calories are all good and I'm obviously staying lean, sometimes you do make the wrong food choices. I can be using, obviously, having takeaways and things like that. So high red meat diet and unhealthy fats can all play your cholesterol levels up. And you can see here, although the range is 0 to 5 on the cholesterol region, I am 5.6, so only just above. It's still an area I obviously want to get down into the green on. So for this, obviously, little things like changing over to a Mediterranean diet, keeping it nice, sort of healthy fats, is obviously going to drop this down. So this is what I'm going to start trying to do in the next couple of months. And you can see going on from that, my LDL levels, which is the bad cholesterol level ranges, is up as well. Again, the range being obviously over 3, where it goes to the level of concern. I know I'm only 3.5, so 3.5, so it is only just creeping over, but these are the times you want to start making those changes. So I'm going to need to reduce obviously the unhealthy fats in my diet and to start bringing into more of a kind of Mediterranean style diet. Everything else on that list is fine. My non-HDL cholesterol levels, which normally coincide with the LDL levels. So you can see, like you say, I'm virtually slightly in the green or obviously slightly in the red. So it's just an area where I'm going to obviously have a look overall. And the HDL cholesterol, obviously 1.87 is actually very good. You'll always find this will be very low, again, in individuals that take anabolic steroids. Next, we're going to go to my inflammation zone. So this was an area I really wanted to be healthy. Obviously, an elevated inflammation is related to all-cause mortality. So we don't want that. We want to be staying nice and healthy. And as you can see, my CRPHS level is 0.5. Now, you don't want it to be 0 because you want your body to be creating inflammation, but you don't want it too low. At the same time, you obviously don't want it too high as well. Next, we look at my gout risk. Now, this is something I was, again, very concerned with. I do flag up red here. And obviously the reason I was concerned is I know that my granddad suffered with gout. I know my dad suffers with gout. And I was like, is this an hereditary thing? Is this something I'm going to get myself? And you can see here, my range is 445, the range being 200 to 430. So I am high in this area. So The causes for this is usually a rich food diet, so like foods high in acidity. So again, red meat can play a huge role in this, as well as alcohol. I don't drink much alcohol at all. One of the doctor's advisories were to reduce my alcohol consumption, reduce my red meat consumption, and obviously don't drink alcohol much. So obviously this is something I'm going to look at further. I obviously haven't done at the moment, but I'm going to read a few studies of how I can naturally get this a little bit lower. Again, it's probably going to be very much diet related and correspond to some of these things in the cholesterol status as well. Next we have my muscle health. Now this flagged up red, which I was like, what? Why are my muscles not healthy or something? But the creatine kinase level can be down to many things. One, if you've trained that week, so where I'd obviously trained the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, hadn't Thursday, had the test Friday, this will definitely show up red with the muscle damage and muscle breakdown I'd achieved obviously in my training sessions. So they say obviously the range 39 to 308 and I was 397, so around say 400. It's absolutely fine and it just shows that I've obviously trained. What they say is a level of 1,000 and above on someone who didn't train would be cause for concern. And I'm obviously not even there with training, so all good there. Next we look at my iron status and you can see all these are very good. The bottom one there, the ferritin, it's just a good marker for your iron stores, so I'm very happy with that one as well. And then the minerals, magnesium, although I supplement, it's worth noting that actually before I took this test, I had come off all supplementations for a whole month. So I wanted to give this a nice fair test and see if my body was naturally deficient in any minerals or vitamins. And as you can see, obviously my magnesium levels are great. Considering obviously this was with no supplements in the body. Moving on to vitamins, you can see all of my vitamins were in the green and very healthy ranges. The folate serum, vitamin B12 and vitamin D, all very good healthy ranges. Next we go into the thyroid hormone. And the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, was very healthy in a very good range of 1.28. The free T3 zone, again, was in that sort of mid to higher zone, so I'm very happy with that. And then the free thyroxine, which is the hormone released by the thyroid, again, was in that nice sort of mid-range, so very healthy on all those. It's good to know, obviously, my thyroid is up to scratch, and obviously all is healthy with that. And then the last one, which is the one that most people are probably watching this video to see, obviously being a natural athlete. Now, I will throw a disclaimer out there. Although you can never be certain with all these guys taking steroids these days, I can honestly say that I have been lifelong completely natural. When I say completely, I've obviously taken things like proteins and stuff like that, creatine, but I've never injected steroids. I've never had tablet form steroids or anything that can be considered a steroid. So I was always wanting to know what my natural testosterone levels were. Now obviously you can see I don't have much hair, I can grow a beard, and that very sometimes indicators that, you know, hair loss could be low testosterone, could also be high, and there are many little markers obviously with your physical state of how high your testosterone is. So, looking at my results, 25.2 is absolutely awesome. It's in the very high range for my natural testosterone level. So I was very happy to see that. I'm obviously 34 years old, so as you get older, your testosterone naturally decreases. So it's actually really good to know that I have naturally high testosterone. Obviously, if this was starting to drop below 10 range, it would be a cause of concern where I'd be thinking, you know, should I start supplementing with some kind of steroid? But obviously, I am well off that at the moment, and I've always said that I am lifelong natural, but however, I have never ruled off taking testosterone. I've always said that when I get to sort of 45 plus, once my natural testosterone levels decrease and I'm obviously, you know, noticing big changes in my physique, in my training, then I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, I'm not saying never. So we never know what's going to be in the future, whether I take them or not. But at the moment, you can see I'm well off that at the moment. And having a naturally high testosterone is obviously going to be very beneficial for my training, my physique. And when you see the results that I can get, obviously, from when I put my effort into a nice diet, it's great to see that obviously this all pays off. And it's now very nice to know that I have a naturally high testosterone, so should be getting absolute optimal results when I do this training. So guys, that is pretty much my test results complete. What I'm obviously going to do, like I said, I'm going to definitely check up on some of those markers in the near future. I'm going to probably do another test around January time. I'm going to give my dietary changes enough time to work, and obviously hopefully when I redo this test, I'd love to see my cholesterol levels nice and dropped, my uric acid levels lower, obviously for the gout risk, and just hopefully get everything in the green. But I can honestly say, if you haven't ever had one of these tests done, you cannot go wrong by having one of these. It's going to just bring up some indications that obviously if you do need to make changes to the body, and obviously just for health factors, sometimes we can be completely unaware of these things that are unhealthy in our body. You might feel fine, but if these areas are flagging up, it's obviously a very good idea to make changes right now rather than waiting for something to go wrong. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this test today. My results being shown, obviously I just was very open with you guys, wanted to show you everything, and I'm very happy to see that being a natural athlete, my testosterone is very high. Obviously, if you've had one of these tests done yourself, please comment in the comment section below. I'm also going to put any discount codes I find. Obviously, this video, is worth noting, I'm not affiliated in any way with Medichecks. This is literally just the company who obviously have done my test, and I'm very happy with the results and happy with everything that they provide. So if you would like, obviously, to get a test done, any codes I'll put in the information section below. Again, lastly, I just want to finish by saying a big thank you to Muscle and Health magazine for obviously putting me through this process. And obviously, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to fire them over. If I don't know the answers, I'll do my best to find out for you. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.